on you.
Right now at 4, it's a mild afternoon in downtown St. Louis, but another weather system is headed toward the bi-state. Thanks for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Rain is expected to arrive tonight, followed by snow and cold Arctic air. We have team coverage of the storm for you. Diamond Palmer has MoDOT's plan to treat the roads. But first, let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with your Weather First forecast.
Well, Brent and Kay, we are talking about big changes over the next 36 hours around St. Louis. We're definitely going to be looking at a scenario playing out where we're warm and mild now. That gets replaced by colder air, which means our rain tomorrow morning will change to a brief period of snow. While we're not expecting a lot of snow, there will be a whole bunch of wind on the backside of this system taking us into tomorrow night, along with the cold air surging in. And it's not just us, other parts of the country dealing with problems as well. So airline travel out at Lambert could be impacted. Clouds are starting to thicken across the bi-state area right now. Sunshine a little more prevalent farther south of town. Here's our energy coming out of the Four Corners region, out of New Mexico. That's going to streak to the northeast. And as we head through tonight, we do expect to see rain showers developing towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Around midnight and thereafter, you're going to possibly hear some rumbles of thunder east and southeast of St. Louis. That could even take us into tomorrow morning's rush hour with some downpours across the area. Then along about lunchtime and thereafter, a period of snow is expected, especially north and west of St. Louis. Temperatures until about 4 or 5 o'clock stay above freezing tomorrow afternoon. So we're not expecting big snow impacts on the roads, but we are expecting some extremely strong and gusty winds. Friday morning rain, brief afternoon snow for Friday, strong winds Friday night, and there is a wind advisory that's in effect for our entire area starting Friday and going into early Saturday morning.
All right, Scott, we'll see you in a bit. Well, tonight, the Missouri Department of Transportation is preparing to treat hundreds of major roads and intersections as that winter weather threatens the bi-state.
Crews will work in 12-hour shifts. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live near I-64 in St. Louis for us. Diamond?
Well, Kay and Brent, that's right. I am live here at the Tam Avenue overpass in St. Louis. And as you can see behind me right now, the winter weather is not impacting drivers, but MoDOT officials say that could all change tomorrow afternoon during your commute if the rain falls before the snow. Now, Thursday afternoon, the Missouri Department of Transportation, the National Weather Service, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol all highlighted their plan for this week's winter weather. The officials say rain will come first, followed by snow, and then wind gusts up to nearly 50 miles an hour in freezing temperatures. MoDOT will be fully staffed for this winter weather event and says they are avoiding pre-treating roads because of this rain. Crews will deploy salt trucks as the snow falls to keep the chemicals from freezing on the roads.
One of the big concerns with any storm at the beginning is that transition when it goes from rain to snow. Those roads are going to get slushy before we can do much out there. So people need to remember to slow down and be careful. Like I said, it will be rush hour, so there'll be a lot of traffic out there. That's one of the big concerns for tomorrow and going into Friday night into Saturday morning.
Now, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will be working in 24-hour shifts around the clock to ensure that these roadways are safe for drivers, but they're also urging drivers to have a winter weather kit in their car, and if they need help, they can call star 59. Reporting live here in St. Louis, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Very good to know, Diamond. You can stay on top of that incoming winter weather by texting the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link.
And you can always watch our news and weather anytime on the 5 Plus streaming app. Download the free app on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV. Just search KSDK in your app store. Now to new developments in an overnight shooting near the St. Louis University campus in Midtown. Police say an argument over loud music led to a man being shot. The shooting happened just before midnight on South Grand near Forest Park Parkway. The victim told police he got into a fight with several people because of how loud his music was playing and his brother's music. During the fight, someone fired a gunshot and the victim was shot in the leg. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. Everyone else left before police arrived.
A plea hearing is scheduled for a former Jefferson County deputy accused in a deadly crash. Kobe McQuarrie now facing misdemeanor charges in the crash that killed his wife Savannah last April. Last week, a judge reduced the felony charges of DWI resulting in death and involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors said they couldn't charge him because they could not prove those crimes beyond a reasonable doubt. They also said Savannah was not wearing a seatbelt. The plea hearing is set for February 28th in Jefferson County.
Right now, the remaining Republican candidates will try to sway undecided voters in Iowa in a race for second place behind frontrunner Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, the former president spent his day inside of a New York courtroom, while President Biden's son did the same on the West Coast. NBC's Tracy Wilkins reports from Washington.
As Republican candidates stomped in Iowa, Donald Trump, the presumptive frontrunner, spent the day in a New York court after the judge overseeing the former president's civil fraud trial initially denied Trump from speaking for fear he turned it into a political speech. He eventually gave the former president 5 minutes to address the court, where he went on to accuse the judge of having an agenda and repeated much of what he's been saying outside the courtroom.
It's an unconstitutional witch hunt. It's election interference at the highest level. It's a disgrace.
The former president is accused of using fraudulent tactics to inflate his net worth in exchange for favorable loan and insurance rates, accusations Trump denies. Miles away in Iowa, now that former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has dropped out of the race, the remaining Republican candidates hoping to defeat Trump are making their cases to voters on the ground. Ron DeSantis called out Trump for holding his own town halls instead of debating the candidates.
He knows he can get away with that type of gaslighting in that venue. He knows he wouldn't be able to get away with that if we were just on the debate stage.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says she's focused on getting her message out ahead of Monday's caucus.
Because it's 11 months worth of work of going all over the state multiple times.
Meanwhile, in an unrelated court battle that's been drawn into the race for the White House, President Biden's son Hunter pled not guilty in a Los Angeles court to 9 felony and misdemeanor tax offenses. This after his surprise appearance yesterday before Congress, prompting House Republicans to formally move to hold Biden in contempt for refusing to testify behind closed doors. In Washington, Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.
Well, South Africa is formally accusing Israel of committing genocide against Palestinians. South Africa pleaded with the United Nations top court to order an immediate halt to military operations in Gaza. The allegations aired today in the International Court of Justice in The Hague. The 2-day hearing is the public side of a landmark case, one of the most significant to be heard in international court. South African lawyers say the latest war is part of a decades-long oppression of the Palestinian people. Israel is denying the accusation, saying it is following international law.
Laying the groundwork for a clean energy future, why Illinois is about to get hundreds of charging stations.
And how many times have you seen Hamilton, where you can catch the musical once again this summer?
He was one of the biggest actors of his generation. What brought Gregory Peck to St. Louis 58 years ago?